Hey Commanders Nation, if you were biting your nails until the final whistle, know that you weren't alone. The showdown against the New Orleans Saints was a real emotional roller coaster. Look, it wasn't pretty, far from perfect, but it was crucial. After all, what really matters is the final score, and we left with a nail-biting victory. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell because today we're breaking down every moment of this breathtaking game. Was it luck or skill? Let's find out together. The Commanders started the game like a steamroller. In the first half, it seemed we had the game completely under control. A 14-0 lead at halftime gave us a false sense of security, and the offense seemed to be in perfect sync. But as we know, in the NFL, nothing is guaranteed until the last second. In the third quarter, the Saints came back strong, led by Spencer Rattler, who replaced starter Jake Haener. Their rejuvenated defense started generating constant pressure, and who would have thought Chase Young, yes, our former player, was everywhere, making life difficult for our offense. The tension only increased when the Saints scored their second touchdown in the fourth quarter, making it 14-13. They opted for a 2-point conversion at the end, and that's when our hearts nearly stopped. But the defense showed up at the most critical moment, securing the victory. It was one of those games where luck seemed to be on our side. As they say, better to be lucky than good, right? But is luck alone enough to take this team to the postseason? This game was more than just a win. It put extra pressure on our direct competitors. The Los Angeles Rams, for example, had just beaten the 49ers and were right behind us in the playoff race. Losing to the Saints would have been a devastating blow. This victory, though dramatic, gave us some breathing room to face the upcoming challenges. And make no mistake, the schedule only gets tougher from here, starting with the Philadelphia Eagles, who need no introduction. Let's be honest, this game also exposed some weaknesses. The defense seemed unprepared for Rattler's entry, and that's concerning. We knew Haener was questionable, but we didn't adjust our game plan to deal with his replacement. These preparation errors could be costly in the playoffs, where every detail matters. Coach Quinn knows this and will surely use this week to correct what went wrong. After all, we can't rely on luck all the time. The Commanders have shown great resilience throughout the season. This is a rebuilding team that's finding ways to win, even in adverse situations. This directly reflects the new regime, which brought not just roster changes, but a new mentality. Now the question is, how do we transform these close wins into convincing performances? The game against the Eagles will be a major test, and any slip-up could put our playoff spot at risk. Looking at the next 3 games, the challenge is immense. Besides the Eagles, we have a home game against the Atlanta Falcons, which promises to be one of the season's most competitive matchups. And of course, the divisional games, which are always unpredictable. Every game will be like a final, and the Commanders need to be ready to show they deserve to be among the best. This is the moment that separates the participants from the real competitors. Was this victory a sign that we're on the right path, or are we relying too much on luck? Will Quinn be able to adjust the team in time to face the Giants ahead? Now, I have news that will make any Washington Commanders fan even prouder. How does it feel to be a fan of one of the most valuable sports franchises in the world? That's right, our beloved Commanders were listed by Forbes as the 16th most valuable sports organization on the planet, with an impressive value of $6.3 billion. But hold on, because there's much more to talk about. Stay with me until the end, because this news shows how we're entering a new era of greatness, and I guarantee that if you love the team as much as I do, you'll want to know every detail. Not to mention, I have a special question for you at the end. First of all, it's worth remembering that the Commanders have a rich and remarkable history in the NFL. We're talking about a team that was founded in 1932 and has since left its mark by winning 3 Super Bowls and claiming 2 championships even before the AFL-NFL merger. Few teams in the league can pride themselves on having such a successful and tradition-rich journey. And this isn't something built overnight. Forbes recognized the importance of this history and included the Commanders in the pantheon of most valuable organizations, proving that we continue to be relevant, both on and off the field. For longtime fans, seeing this recognition fills our hearts with pride, don't you think? Forbes' study shows that the Commanders are valued at no less than $6.3 billion. placing the franchise as the 16th most valuable in the world and surrounded by other NFL powerhouses. We're positioned right behind the Chicago Bears, valued at $6.4 billion, and ahead of the Miami Dolphins at $6.2 billion. This places the Commanders among the elite teams in financial terms, even in a scenario of enormous competition in the global sports market. And who wouldn't be excited about that? Just thinking about how we're consolidating again as one of the NFL's pillars makes you want to see the team growing even more. And tell me, what fan doesn't dream of seeing this financial growth alongside success on the field? The Commanders' financial success also has a lot to do with the competence of the new management. Since Josh Harris took over, we've seen significant changes in how the organization is managed. With Harris at the helm, the team benefits from being located in one of the largest metropolitan regions in the United States, the famous DMV, which encompasses Washington, Maryland, and Virginia. This gigantic market ensures a dedicated fan base, million-dollar sponsorship deals, and an excellent structure to generate even more value. Just imagine the potential we can still reach with improvements in team leadership and, of course, consistent victories. This only elevates the franchise's status, both on the field and in the market. And here's an important detail we can't ignore. This valuation is just the beginning. If the Commanders stay on the right track, especially in terms of on-field success, maybe even snagging another Super Bowl title in the future, the franchise's value could skyrocket even more. Today, sports investments are changing with the help of private equity firms and stock ownership, something that could strengthen teams' financial side even further. So, fellow fans, are we about to experience the most glorious era in our recent history? I believe we are. Have you ever imagined a game so tight that every second felt like an eternity? Well, my friends, that's exactly what happened yesterday afternoon when our Washington Commanders faced the Saints in New Orleans. In a duel full of drama, leadership, and that special NFL excitement, Jayden Daniels lit up the field, and the Commanders walked away with their most hard-fought victory of the year. 2019. Spoiler, Daniels and McLaurin were absolute monsters on the field. But this isn't just another win. It's one of those games that keeps any fan glued to the screen. Stay with me until the end, because besides sharing all the details, I'm going to ask you a question that only a true fan can answer. Now, before jumping straight to the score, let me tell you something. Jayden Daniels is showing that maybe, just maybe, he's the quarterback we've been waiting for. Completing 25 of 31 passes for 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, the guy held his ground against a defense that sacked him 8 times. Yes, you heard that right. 8 sacks. And still, he stayed strong, led the offense, and even rushed for 66 yards. Let me tell you, it's not easy to go into the Superdome and do what he did. If you also think Daniels is starting to show that game vision, write it here in the comments because I want to know your opinion. But hold on. This victory wasn't just about numbers and statistics. It had soul, heart, and let's be honest, a little luck. In the game's final play, when the Saints seemed ready to steal our joy with a touchdown as time expired, the defense shined in the most crucial moment. Rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler, who replaced Jake Haener in the second half, completed a 1-yard TD pass to Foster Moreau. But during the 2-point conversion, my friend, the pass fell incomplete and victory was ours. Seriously, did anyone manage to breathe until the final whistle? Let us know in the comments if your heart didn't stop for a few seconds. And if there was one connection that shined yesterday, it was Jayden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. The duo seemed synchronized, connecting for 2 touchdowns. One from 16 yards in the first half and another from 3 yards in the second quarter. McLaurin finished the game with 7 receptions for 73 yards, proving once again why he's the reliable leader of this offense. I confess that every time I see number 17 going up for a catch, I get goosebumps. Who else thinks McLaurin is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league? In fact, I've heard people saying he deserves to be in the top 5. Could it be? Of course, not everything was that simple. We had our ups and downs,